Hello, this is John, and welcome back to week 9 of the Amateur Battle League. This week, the Boston Granbulls will be playing the Houston Team Rockets, and I'm a little nervous because they've only lost 2 battles, and we are now in the Alpha Division. There are 4 more games before we get into the ABL's finals. Let's hope that we can keep up some momentum and we can win some more battles. With me today is Dan in the background, as well as my best friend Jake. They might be in and out while we battle. Okay, so first things first, let's see who he brought. He brought a heavier water team, so I kind of predicted that this might happen, and I'm actually anticipating Pelipper and Barraskewda to be first. To sort of counter my Shinotic, I see the Butterfree and the Pelipper both possibly running, Hurricane, and whatever else Butterfree might want to do, as well as the Weavile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Cappuccino and Mudpie, and I am going to anticipate a Barraskewda Pelipper start so that he can get a lot of speed and try and sweep through my team before I can get set up. He didn't bring Heliolisk, which is a pretty big threat to my Max Captain. I'm not sure what he's going to do with Barraskewda, but I'm hoping that what happens is Pelipper comes out and sets Rain, which doubles Barraskewda's 136 speed stat, and then I cut it back down by setting the Sandstorm. I use Togedemaru with Sturdy in order to paralyze Barraskewda and protect at the same time as hit Powdon to keep... Actually, maybe I'll switch into Lapras at that point, because she's water absorb. Well, let's hope that I'm right about what his setup is. Excadrill and Gothitelle. So this is really not what I was anticipating. And it's a Mold Breaker Excadrill. So now it's not going to have doubled speed. Its speed is about 90. It's probably still invested into speed, but it's not going to be like its forte. I imagine Cappuccino is faster, so I'm going to try and U-turn out off of Gothitelle for a super effective hit, and I'm just going to go for the high horsepower and Excadrill. So Excadrill is his Max Captain, so he is going to Dynamax it to get that extra bulk. Excadrill is not a very powerful Pokemon when it comes to its defense stats. It can sweep pretty well. Helping Hand. So now that I'm out, I don't want to switch into this because now that I know it's Mold Breaker, it will ignore Levitate and get a super effective hit onto this Pokemon. So what I really want to think about is who can just absorb a ground type hit if that's what's coming my way, and the answer is going to be my Lapras. But it would just be a huge shame to lose it. I'm going to go... I think that the safest bet in front of these two I don't think he was anticipating me switching out. I mean, nothing would be worse than Lapras fainting right now, but I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, phew. So that did do a lot of damage, and now his defense is higher. and so is Gothitelle's. And it's got a life orb as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to Dynamax. I'm going to get rid of the Sandstorm, and I'm imagining that he's going to also go for Lapras right off the bat. So I'm going to hit him again. I just want to kill his Max Captain. That's my goal. He's going to Max Steel Spike likely on my Lapras, which it could do a lot of damage, but I'm also heavily invested in my defense stats, and I really want him to trigger my weakness policy. The best case scenario right now would be that he hits Lapras with Steel Spike. It does about half health, it doesn't critical, and then so he does a lot of damage, and he didn't want to hit me with a super effective hit on purpose. It looks like he's trying to raise both of their defenses. Okay, so now it looks like Hippowdon is going to take out his Excadrill. Which makes me so glad that I double focused on that Pokemon. I'm imagining now that Barraskewda might come out. It was a little risky to not run with the ice. I really just wanted to KO Excadrill. Yeah, but I'm worried that Gothitelle might be stored power. So now she's got 2 levels, which is still not as strong as Psychic, but I don't want her to start doing things like Calm Mind. He might force me to make a hard decision here. Alright, so he's choosing speed with Weavile. I imagine Weavile's going to just go straight for Lapras and try to KO it, but it's not going to be able to hit hard enough. And I imagine it really wants to kill Mudpie, so I'm just going to frustrate it potentially by using a Protect. I'm glad I got that U-turn in on Gothitelle. That half HP is pretty nice to hope that I can cut right through that heavy special defense stat. I'm also anticipating a potential switch out on Gothitelle. Weavile might go for Hippowdon to try to get a KO in, or it could try to hit my Lapras just to do more chip damage, because Lapras right now is looking pretty scary. It's definitely going for Lapras at this point because of the helping hand. It did damage, but it's not the end of the world, and now I have my Resonance up. That didn't do a whole lot. I still have one more turn of Dynamax. I'm imagining that Weavile might even know Brick Break, so I'm going to use Resonance again. Oh, KO'd me. And broke my Aurora Veil. So I was right, it was going to do Brick Break. I'm unfortunately not able to survive it. So now we both have lost our max captains. Rock Slide. It does fair damage. Got a berry. Okay. So I know it has Brick Break, I know it has Throat Chop. Trigger's fast, I know that, so is Weavile. It probably knows Ice Shard, but Ice Shard won't kill me in one hit, not even with a Helping Hand. I think there's a 100% chance they're gonna it's gonna Helping Hand go for Trigger, so I'm gonna try and do chip damage with Rock Slide and Protect. I might even get a critical, or I might even... This Gothitelle clearly likes to use Helping Hand, so I'm not really feeling threatened by it, and I'm also sort of like, I can just use a well-timed Protect and ruin your whole turn. And KO Weevil. I'm imagining Barraskewda is going to come out because it does outspeed me in the rain. So it's 100% going to either use Ice Fang or some water type attack since it's boosted in the rain. For me, I feel like my best bet might be to switch into something else and not risk taking any damage. I'm going to switch into my little Cappuccino. It's got Sturdy and it also has a Rocky Helmet, so it's going to do some damage, and then I'm going to Yawn Barraskewda so I don't have to worry about it. That's fine. I still get to get my Yawn in on Barraskewda. So he's either going to have to switch it out or deal with becoming asleep. So what I'm going to choose to do is bring in my Bronzong so that I can highlight Nightcap when the time comes. So I'm switching in. Bronzong. So he's probably going to anticipate that I'm going to go for the Trick Room, but I am going to go for the Trick Room because that's my best bet. And I'm also going to go for the High Horsepower on Gothitelle because I'm tired of the Helping Hand and its stab, so hopefully it'll do enough to KO. Barraskewda is probably going to switch out, so maybe it will come in with Butterfree, so maybe I should have run Rock Slide instead, but I do want to KO Gothitelle. His other Pokemon he still has, so he's Gothitelle, Barraskewda, he has Butterfree, and one more Pokemon who I'm not remembering. It's Pelipper, so he's bringing back out the rain. So he's reinforcing his speed. Gothitelle's using Psyshock, probably on me here. Doesn't do a whole lot. And I use High Horsepower. I know I'm gonna move first now because I just saw that Gothitelle moved before Hippowdon. So yes, it's scary to have the Pelipper here because it can get a 100% chance on Hurricane in the rain. But I might be able to flinch it here, and I might be able to flinch it here. So I'm in a pretty good position now that I'm in a Trick Room, and he reset the water, so there's no way that Barraskewda will ever move before anything else in this water. He's got a tough choice to make. Does he want to keep Gothitelle in? Does he want to run for does he want to do a Hurricane with a Helping Hand? And it looks like that is probably what he wants to do. So let's really go for a flinch. This thing is bulky. I'm not expecting it to just go down in 2 hits, especially not from 2 Pokemon that are not invested in attack. Pelipper did flinch. So that was lucky for me, but I did have 2 opportunities to flinch. So I'm going to go for it again. And I'm going to do the rock slide again. I imagine Gothitelle will not helping hand because he can't risk the flinch again. She'll probably go for a Psyshock. He did go for the helping hand. I'm going for Iron Head again. It's a repeat of last turn. It's down to half health. Does it eat a berry? It does. I go for a Rock Slide. It hits both again. It doesn't KO Gothitelle. It goes for Scald. And it gets the KO. This is actually fine. I'm still in a Trick Room, and now I have Nightcap on the field. So I'm going to go for the Iron Head again, and now I'm going to go for the Dazzling Gleam. He'll probably switch out and bring in his Butterfree, which could suck, but at the same time it's also fine because what else am I, I can't, it's inevitable. I'm just hoping to get KOs on both of these two. I want the Rain to run out, and I want Barrascuda to take damage. I don't feel particularly threatened by, a Butterfree. It's gonna come out into this Rain and into this Trick Room. So I'm gonna hit it now with Iron Head. Butterfree's never been a defensive Pokemon. And I'm gonna use Dazzling Gleam. I get the KO on Gothitelle, and Butterfree is low HP now. So now he's probably gonna bring Pelipper back. We're still in a Trick Room. So he brings Barrascuda. It is the slowest Pokemon now. I'm gonna go for the Iron Head on Butterfree again, and I'm actually just gonna Spore Barrascuda. The only way you could do damage is to Aqua Jet me, but that's not gonna kill either of these Pokemon. And if he wants to do damage on my Nightcap, I have basically full speed Strength Sap. It's looking pretty good at this point for the Granbulls. So he switches back into Pelipper. I use Iron Head and I knock out Butterfree. I Spore onto Pelipper. The rain has stopped, so now Barrascuda is not as fast as Dragapult. And he has no way to bring out the rain again because these are his last two Pokemon. It is still a Trick Room. It is still a Trick Room, and this always has a chance to flinch, and that is why it is useful. I am faster than this Pokemon, and it is more dangerous than Pelipper. How is it going faster than your range? Good thing I had the Focus Sash on. Hopefully I'm not poisoned, but I still am gonna KO it. I KO it, and I guess that means that the Iron Head will go on to Pelipper. This Pokemon is so bulky. Okay. I don't want to give this thing the chance to go first. It's basically in the bag now that I'm gonna win. Alright, good game, Randy. The Boston Granbulls secured a win for the first battle in the Alpha Division. Taking down a team that was 6-2 feels good. Good game, Randy. And we'll have more battle next week.